What is going on YouTube? And welcome back to my channel, JoJo Speaks. Thank you all so much for joining myself and Dustin for this being our review for 90 Day Fiance before the 90 Days Season 8, Episode 17. Dustin, hope you're doing okay today. Tomorrow, well, first of all, before we get to what's coming out tomorrow, be sure to subscribe to my channel. Press that big white subscribe button. It is free and easy to do. Takes less than a second to mash that thing. So go ahead and mash it for a brother. Also, be sure to leave a thumbs up for this video. Let me know you're enjoying the content I'm putting out on my channel. Be sure to leave a comment. Let me know your thoughts on the various couples we're discussing on tonight's review. Also, be sure to press the notification bell so you're notified every time I post a new video. And last but not least, be sure to share JoJo Speaks with all your family, friends, and loved ones. Let everybody know JoJo Speaks is out here in these YouTube streets. Coming out tomorrow will be my reviews for The Real Housewives of Atlanta season, I believe it's 17, if I'm not mistaken. Or maybe, I don't know what season it is. Don't get me the line. But anyways, the new season started this weekend.
Yes.
I just watched the episode today, so I'll be releasing my review for it tomorrow. I'll also be releasing my review for RuPaul's Drag Race either tomorrow or Wednesday. So be on the lookout for those videos. So we got a couple comments in the comment section. Let's get to those before we get this party started here. Dustin says hi to everyone. And then we got Lady Virgo saying good evening to everyone. Good evening to you, Lady Virgo. So glad you joined us, boo. And Lady Virgo also says to JoJo Speaks, Dustin Butler and Prophetic Fire Reiki. Good evening and happy Monday to you all. Happy Monday to you as well, Lady Virgo. Love you, boo. Auntie Rob.
To all you.
Auntie Robin says, howdy doody tooty. Fruities. Yes, we are fruities. Hey, Auntie Robin. So glad that you're here, boo. So glad that you are here. And then lastly, Lady Virgo says, hey to Auntie Robin and happy Monday to her as well. So let's start this one with Annalyn and Jovan. So Annalyn and Jovan, they go to an amusement park. I love amusement parks.
Well, I want to say, people, I have a cold, so you have to bear with me. I have a cold. My voice is really deep tonight, so I have a cold. So I've been sick for the past 2 days.
Oh,
I'm
no.
trying to get over it.
Okay, all right. Hope you feel better, Dustin, and we'll definitely bear with you throughout the review. So Annalyn and Jovan, they go to an amusement park. I love roller coasters. Roller coasters are one of my favorite things in the world. Going to Orlando later this year. Hopefully we'll get out to Tampa Bay so I can go back to Busch Gardens because I truly enjoy those roller coasters. I love roller coasters, y'all. So Annalyn and Jovan, they seem to be riding like some kiddie rides. I don't know, but they have fun either way. But anyways, they make it to a jewelry store because they're having a sort of kind of a recommitment ceremony to actually say their vows in person since they actually got married over the internet when they initially got married 3 years ago. So Annalyn, Jovan did send her money to get a wedding band herself, but she says that she only received $100. And again, downplaying Jovan once again, as she's been doing all season long. She says that the ring put a green stain on her skin. And so she wanted to buy another wedding band. And so she was looking at the wedding bands. You know, she wanted one that was a little bit wider, had a little bit more circumference on it. And they told them how much it was. I can't remember exactly how much the ring was.
It was $200. It was $200. About $200. Yeah.
Okay, so it was about $200. And Annalyn asked Jovan, you know, can we get it today? And Jovan says, no, I got to get my money together. You know, I have to make sure that I'll be able to afford it. So, you know, we'll come back. And Annalyn was so embarrassed by this.
I would be too, to be honest with you, Johnson.
She was like, why would you take me to a ring shop if you're not going to buy a ring for me? So, first of all, you know what Jovan's current financial status is. So you know that he does not have all the money in the world. And so I don't know why Annalyn was acting surprised that Jovan didn't want to buy that ring for her. As y'all know, I have not liked Annalyn this entire season. She has gotten on my last nerve all season long. And the way that she has been downplaying everything that Jovan has been doing for her, she's been talking to him crazy out the side of her neck. She does not appreciate Jovan in any way, shape, or form whatsoever. And I just want Jovan to lead Annalyn. Auntie Robin says, Auntie Robin says down here in the comments, why?
Mhm.
Um, at a point when Anna Lynn was complaining to Jovan about not being romantic and how he is fooling her footing her bill for life. Jovan looked absolutely miserable. He needs to exit stage left. Absolutely, Auntie Robin. I agree with you wholeheartedly. Anna Lynn doesn't deserve Jovan. Jovan is a good man. And once again, when we watch these 90 Day Fiance shows, this is no shade to any women out there because I know all women are not a representative or not being represented well on this show.
Mhm.
But the women
Mhm.
on 90 Day Fiance always, a good majority of them, I won't say all of them, but a good majority of them, because Aviva's not really treating Stig like shit, but a good
Mhm.
majority of the women on 90 Day Fiance
Mhm.
treat their men like shit, and I cannot stand it whatsoever. We see in the preview for the next episode that they're going to have their recommitment ceremony. Anna Lynn
Right.
is still not in a good mood whatsoever, and I just don't understand why Jovan insist on staying with Anna Lynn. I don't get it. I don't understand it. I I don't know if in the tell-all he'll be able to, give us a great reason why he's still
Mhm.
with her, but I don't get why he's still with her. I don't know. Dustin, what were your thoughts on their segment this episode? You said that you would be upset if your significant other wouldn't be able to buy the ring for you as well. What are your
Mhm.
thoughts altogether?
Why would you even bring her to that shop without getting her a wedding ring, an actual wedding ring? That don't make sense to me at all. That don't make sense to me. I don't know if it's just me. Yeah, I don't know how you feel about it, Jonathan, but I don't know. I don't sit right with me. You know, because if it was you or I in the same situation, I would be upset if somebody did that to you, and I bet you would be upset if somebody did that to me. You know, I think we're both on the same page here. Hopefully, we are anyway, because it's upsetting. Would upset me if you would bring somebody expecting to buy them a ring and then they would buy them a ring at all. hmm yeah, another thing you can add on to it is you can add on giving her the ring that you used for somebody else. That's a red flag. That he was with somebody else and he used it for somebody else. Don't give somebody else a ring when you're with somebody else. That's sickening to me.
You're saying Jovan gave Annalyn a ring that he had given to someone else? I thought he gave her money for a ring and she bought one.
No, he gave it to. He told the crew that he bought one for. He told the crew that he bought one, and then he said it. He gave it to somebody else before he got with her.
Oh wow, I didn't catch that one. So, me personally, Dustin, I had to consider the current situation that Jovan is in. Jovan, we all know, does not have the most money in the world, and so I don't know why Annalyn was surprised that
hmm
he wasn't willing to buy it right then and there when he gave her the excuse of, "I have to make sure my money's right. I have to make sure I can afford it." And to me, that's the more
hmm
responsible thing as opposed to just buying whatever it is that your significant other wants you to buy for them. And by the way, Jovan has been sending Annalyn money on a monthly basis for the time period that they have been together. So would I be
hmm
upset if my significant other took me to a ring shop and didn't buy me a ring? Well, it depends on what his current financial status is. If I know that he's not currently
I'm saying that.
fin-
I'm. I'm saying if he had. I'm saying if he had the extra money. I understand he didn't have. I didn't understand he didn't have the extra money at the time because he said it. But I'm just saying, what even bring it to her? hmm
Yeah, I get that. I get in a normal circumstance, if you and your significant other are financially stable and your significant other takes you to a ring shop and they don't buy you a ring, I understand why you might be upset about that. I really do. It's just in this particular situation with Jovan and Anna Lynn, Jovan don't know if he got the money to pay for a $200 ring right now. So I get why Anna Lynn is upset. She's probably upset the same reason why you're upset, Dustin. But you have to put into
Right.
consideration what Jovan's current financial status is, and so
hmm
why. if he said to her before they went into the ring shop, "Let's go buy you a ring," I did not hear those words come out of Jovan's mouth. "Let's go buy you a ring." If he's setting you
He said
up
that a
to make
couple.
it
He said that a couple episodes ago. Hmm.
okay, and he'll buy her the ring once he's got his money together. You know what I'm saying? Like it's
All right.
I get where you're coming from, Dustin, but once again, we have to consider what Jovan's
Yeah,
current
I
financial.
get that. I get that. Hmm.
Okay, but
Hmm.
you're right in feeling, I'm expecting to get a ring bought for me, so I'm sure it's frustrating if it's not
Well,
happening in the timeline
I
in
don't.
which you.
I don't think he was. I don't think the reason why I'm upset about it, to Jonathan, is I don't think he was very open and honest with her. He hasn't been very open and honest with her, in my opinion, since all this happened from episode one. And that's just my opinion. Everybody don't have to agree with it, but that's just my opinion tonight. I
What
don't
don't
think.
you what
I
do you
don't
think
think it,
what do you think he hasn't been honest about?
his whole money talking about the money issue. I don't think he's been open and honest about that with her.
Okay. Yeah, they
Mm-hmm.
haven't had a conversation about his financial status. You're correct about that. They haven't had that conversation. But
Mm-hmm.
Anna Lynn is expecting for Jovan to get his wallet out every 5 minutes. And
Right.
to me, that is unreasonable when you're not having these conversations where we need to understand where we stand financially.
Uh,
So to me, it is on both of them. Jovan definitely should have had that conversation with Anna Lynn. And
mm-hmm.
I have the feeling that he has had that conversation with her. We just might not have seen it on the actual show. But
Mm-hmm.
me personally, I like Jovan. I like Jovan a lot. Auntie Robin.
I do as well, but I think they need some work. As long as the rest of, as well as the rest of the couples, they need a lot of work. Hmm.
Absolutely. Auntie Robin says down in the comments, of course Jovan is responsible. He has to be. Annalyn is accustomed to him being her sugar daddy. Exactly. And a lot of times sugar babies don't care, whether their man has the money or not. They're expecting to get whatever it is that they're asking for. And me personally, I just cannot get with that. I cannot get with that at all. I mean, if you're gonna be a sugar baby to a man who got some real money, not to a man who has a regular, full-time job that he's working 40 to 80 hours a week and it's just send you a couple $100s every month. Like, get out of here with that BS.
Right.
Auntie Robin says down here in the comments as well. What hasn't he been honest about? Exactly. He hasn't told her down to the penny, but he has expressed that it is a stretch to support her and himself. Exactly. He said that a number of times that he does not have the money to be giving her all left and right every time that she asks for it. It's like
Yeah.
she's expected. Her expectations financially from Jovan are way too high
Yeah.
and ridiculous. And I don't get why Jovan is still with her, and he needs to
Well,
leave her.
like I said last week, Jonathan, I said he deserves better. And I don't like. To be honest with you, Jonathan, I don't like her. To be honest, I think he deserves better. I think all these couples should have a rude awakening on this season because I think they need it. They don't. A lot of these people don't deserve these people. To be honest with you, on this season, this is how I feel about it. But we gotta get through it and continue on to the next season. But see how it happens out. Hmm.
But that seems to be a common occurrence on 90 Day Fiance, where people are with others that they don't deserve. So yeah,
Right.
we see that all the time on 90 Day Fiance. But let's move on to Daniel
Sure.
and Lisa. So Daniel and
Mm.
Lisa are spending their last day together in Nigeria. They had the sexual relations the night before, but Lisa has one big issue, and her big issue is that Daniel has yet to perform oral sex on her. And she says that this is a big deal for her. And Daniel's response in the confessional is she's been with women for years, and that's what they do, because that is one of the main things that the women who love women do,
Yeah.
is they eat the cat. And Daniel says, I have a penis, and I don't need to use my mouth. He did say he promised her that he would do it once they get married. I have heard that some Africans don't believe in eating the cat. I don't know how true that may be, but I have heard that a lot of times that they're not comfortable with doing that. But before we move on
Mm-hmm.
Lisa and Daniel, Auntie Robin says one last thing about Jovan and Annalyn. She says Jovan is probably with her he because he well, because the pickings in Alabama are Little Slim and maybe
Oh, Jesus.
are a little slim, maybe. Yeah, that could be the case because to me, Javon is an attractive man. Like he's not the finest man in the world, but he's an attractive man. Like if Javon was gay and he was in my in my area, I would definitely date a guy like Javon. I think he's a really sweet guy. So,
Mm,
but it's just frustrating to see him with Anna Land. That's all I'm saying. But
mm,
with Lisa and Daniel, so Lisa and Daniel, again, Daniel promises Lisa that he will perform oral sex on her once they get married. Not sure if he's going to follow through with that. But I also think that that may be too much to do on a woman like Lisa. Like maybe he'd rather do it to a woman who might be more attractive. I don't know. But they do get into a conversation about their plans on the visa, him getting over to America. Lisa then says that as soon as she gets back to America, she's going to get in touch with an immigration lawyer. And she tells Daniel that she won't be able to send him any more money because all of her money will be going to the immigration process and trying to get him over to America. And Daniel says, well, there may be times when I still have to call you and ask you for what he says, what he considers assistance. Which further tells me what Daniel's plan is. And Daniel's plan is to get over to America by any means necessary. Much like Michael, who was in a relationship with Angela,
Angela.
he just wants to
Mm.
get to America,
He gives
which
he,
is
he he gives me he gives me Michael vibes, to be honest with you. If you want to hear the truth, he gives me Michael vibes.
absolutely, he definitely does. I refuse to believe that he's actually romantically interested in Lisa. If he were, if she, let's say, if she were living in Africa, he probably would not consider being in a relationship with her. Auntie Robin says the cat ain't got no face. Joe Nathan.
Mm. And guess who's gonna see Michael on the next season of Single Life? Everybody's gonna be watching Single Life next season. He's gonna be on it.
Oh wow. Okay. All right. We'll look forward to seeing that. Auntie Robin, what do you mean by the cat ain't got no face? I don't know what you mean by that. Could you elaborate? Maybe I'm missing something simple. I don't know. But anyways, and so they have this conversation about her plans on getting him over to America, which seems to be Daniel's number one priority. Which I get it. I understand. You want to live in a better country or what you might consider would be a better country. You want to live a better life. I get that. I really do.
Mhm.
So she gets to the airport. She says that she wished that they had gotten married before they left Nigeria. And Daniel actually said he wanted to marry Lisa before they got to Nigeria. And, I understand why they have those particular sentiments. Lisa is very emotional while she's at the airport. She's saying that she doesn't want to leave. She's telling Daniel to walk away so that she doesn't have to. It's very lovey dovey. They're doing a lot of kissing, they're doing a lot of hugging. Auntie Robin also says down here in the comments, you said that maybe Daniel's issue is that Lisa isn't very attractive. Oh, okay. But
Mhm.
at the same time, yeah, I get what you're saying, Auntie Robin. You know what I'm saying? If he's willing to kiss her, you know what I'm saying? Why wouldn't he be willing to eat the kitty cat? But I don't know. I was just assuming, Auntie Robin, just throwing that out there. But thank you for elaborating because I guess I should have known. But anyways, Dustin, what were your thoughts on Daniel not being willing to give Lisa oral sex? Do you think he's going to keep his promise by saying that he's going to do it after they get married? And do you think that, well, you've already said that you think that Daniel's mission is to get over to America, but what did you think of
Mhm.
that entire conversation? And why is it that you think that he doesn't want to do it?
Well, I seen an interview with on YouTube like yesterday.
Hmm.
I'll put it to that, and I think that Lisa and Daniel are no longer together. So we'll find out what to tell them. I think that we'll find out because I found some stuff out yesterday, and I'll send it to you. Send it your way after this live is over with. Because I want your opinion about it. We'll see what happens. I think that she did. I think she deserves better, and I think that he deserves better as well. But I don't know. I don't think they're together, to be honest, anymore. Mm.
Do you think there's a reason he wasn't willing to give her oral sex? Because it seems like there's a good reason why he doesn't want to. We just don't know what it is.
I don't think they're compatible. I don't think they're meant to be together, Jonathan. I don't think they are. And I think he knows that. I think that he knows that he deserves better, and I think that he's trying to figure that out.
Lady Virgo says to Auntie Robin a couple of emojis here. She's laughing at our exchange. That's really. I should have known Auntie Robin. Forgive me for being so ignorant, not knowing what you were, not knowing what you were talking about there. But Auntie Robin has another comment here. Let me pull it up and see what it says. Auntie Robin says Lisa is a bit of a punk. Oh, my question is, did did she perform fellatio on him? If so, fair exchange ain't no robbery. Absolutely. It would not surprise me if Lisa had performed fellatio on Daniel. I would assume that she does perform fellatio on Daniel. I don't know. I don't know if
Mhm,
I definitely don't care whether she has or not, but I would
mhm,
assume that she has. And there are men out there who will demand fellatio but refuse to return the favor. So it is what it is. Some men are selfish, and that's just the way that it is for some men. So
mhm,
we'll see what happens as time goes on with them. We got four more couples left. So let's move
mhm.
on to Forrest and Sheena. So Forrest and Sheena, oh, let me turn my phone to silent. Forrest and
Go
Sheena.
ahead.
So
Yeah.
Forrest and Sheena, they are being wrapped in banana leaves. And Forrest has made the decision that he's going to stay in the Philippines. And um, he's just nervous about telling his mother his plans. And Sheena says that I'm going to support you. I'm going to be there with you every step of the way. I'll be there to support you, all this good stuff. So Forrest and Sheena get back from their little romantic getaway, and Forrest's mother is on 10. And I find it interesting how easily Forrest's mother can go from being really nice to really aggressive.
Mm,
Because once they get
mhm,
to the restaurant, she's asking for the food, she's loving the entertainment. They're doing like a traditional dance, I'm assuming a traditional Filipino dance at the restaurant. And, Forrest's mother is explaining how intricate the dancing is and all that good stuff. Sheena's giving her some background on the dancing. It's really interesting. And then because Forrest's mother and Forrest have been texting back and forth.
right.
And Forrest really hasn't been giving his mother any definitive answers as to what he's decided to do. So Forrest reveals to his mother that he's decided that he's going to stay in the Philippines, and Forrest's mother goes off.
Goes
She
off.
says, "Have you made a
Mm,
plan? What is your goals? What are your plans? Do you have emergency planning? Do you what is what are you going to do?" And Sheena
mhm,
then pipes up and says, "This is a decision that we've made together." And Forrest's mother is like, "What is that ish that just came out of your mouth?" Thought that was really interesting. Auntie Robin says down in the comments, DJ Khaled spelling famously said he wouldn't on his wife. Exactly.
right.
Now I'm not sure how many people want to give fellatio to DJ Khaled, but hey, if you're
I'll
out
give
there and you
him.
want to do it, so be it. Um, Lady Virgo says down here in the comments to Auntie Robin, he spells it. Oh, and she spells Khaled correctly for Auntie Robin. And then Auntie Robin has another comment down here saying Forrest's mother is a bully. She does act like a bully a lot of the times. She is also crass. Her son is in his 30s. She needs to calm down. You see how she cursed Sheena out again? Yes, she did. And Sheena
Mm-mm.
says that you need to start trusting Forrest, and Forrest's mother says, "I trust Forrest. I just don't trust you."
Mhm.
So
That
yeah,
that
what you said,
that
Auntie
that
Robert, is extremely true. She
Mhm.
is a bully, or at least she talks like a bully. And she's very crass as well. She was happy to hear that Forrest and Sheena had finally had sex together. She's glad that they both lost their virginity to
Right.
one another. I thought that was really sweet of her, but right at the drop of a dime, Forrest's mother went off the handle. Auntie Robin also says down in the comments, I wonder if Forrest's mom has considered what he would do should she go to glory. Yeah. I would hope that Forrest's mother has set up some type of life insurance, or I mean, it's not that Forrest is has like, a debilitating condition. He just has autism. And that's not to say that autism, isn't something that's hard to deal with, but it's not like a debilitating thing like you would say Down syndrome is, where people are not like others in that
Mm.
way. Auntie Robin also says down in the comments, thanks, Lady Virgo. Um, so, Dustin, what was your thought on Forrest's mother's reaction to him telling her that he's going to stay in the Philippines? And were you surprised that she cursed Sheena out yet again?
No, I wasn't surprised. I was actually expecting it because she puts me in the mind of somebody that doesn't like the word. She don't like change. She don't like to be not not in control. She's a very controlling person,
Hmm.
in my opinion, Jonathan.
Yeah,
She is.
I agree with that as well.
And she doesn't like losing the control. Um, Even though he's in his own middle, I don't know how old he is, so I just can say middle 30s. But
Yeah, he's
even
in
though
his mid 30s. Sheena's 40.
yeah, if he's in his mid 30s, that he can do whatever the heck he wants to. Uh, that's the same way with me. I'm 24 years old, and so I can do what the heck I want to do.
Yeah.
But I don't understand it because people think they ought to stay in one place forever, but that's not the way it is. 'Cause life changes.
Yeah, there are plenty of adults out here with autism that are able to live very fulfilling lives, that are very independent, that are able to make their own decisions, that are able to pay their own bills, live in their own house, drive their own car. Like, we're not talking about, like I said, a debilitating condition. Like, we're talking about autism. It just makes them, see situations a little bit differently. They're just not as socially aware a lot of the times, but they can still work and do whatever it is they need to do to survive. Auntie Robin says that's my point, Jonathan. Forrest can care for himself. He can survive. Absolutely. And then Auntie Robin also says, "Good point, Dustin." So yeah, Forrest's mother, she's got to back off just a little bit. Like, she's got to back off just a little bit. But we'll see. We see that this conversation does continue into the next episode, so we'll see what happens next time. Let's move on to Elise and Joshua. So
Oh my
Elise,
God, where do I even begin? I
uh,
don't. Sorry to interrupt you, but I don't even know where to even begin. That
it,
couple.
It's
Mm.
okay. It's totally fine. Lady Virgo says down there in the comments, no problem to Auntie Robin. Elisa and Joshua are dealing with the aftermath of her blow up in the club. And, Joshua is, on the fence as to whether he actually wants to stay with Elise or not. He's telling Christopher how it all went down. Christopher's like, oh man, that is crazy. That is insane. And then Elise walks into the room and she does apologize to Joshua. And then she asks him if he's still going to take her to the zoo. Joshua does say yes, I'll take you to the zoo. They go to see some koalas. Um, you know, I should not have been surprised that Elise asked if she could touch the koalas, but I probably want to hold the koalas too. They seem very cute and cuddly and furry.
Yeah,
They seem very nice, not aggressive animals. So I don't mind that Elise asked to hold or touch the koala, but it was a no touch zoo. So then, as they're walking through the zoo, Elise asked Joshua why he wasn't touching her or holding her hand. And then they had a conversation about the fact that, she had gone off on him at the club. And he said, typically, if something like that were to happen in any other relationship, that would be the end of it. And Elise does apologize yet again. Auntie Robin says down here in the comments, I was going to call Elise a ticking time bomb. But she has an arsenal. Yes, she does. She keeps blowing up. Yes, absolutely. I like to see Elise on her normal tip, like when she's not blowing up, when she's not making a scene. Because when she's blowing up and she's making a scene, it makes her look very unattractive, at least in my opinion.
right.
That's me talking as a gay man about a woman. But to me, I don't like to see anyone acting out of character. But I
Yeah.
just am beginning to feel like that's just who Elise is. Elise will go off on you at a moment's notice. But Joshua does forgive Elise, and they go on this. They end up at this house, this beautiful, it looks like a mansion to me, that Elise has rented out for them. She starts making a salad for him. She's opening the salad dressing. It all kind of blows up in her face, and they get a good laugh out of that. Then they get into the hot tub, and Elise tells us in the confessional that she really wants to meet Joshua's son.
Right.
Don't know why Elise is so hard pressed to meet Joshua's son. Like, yes, I know that that is a step that makes it seem as though you're closer to your significant other, but with you just blowing up at the club the night before, I'm sure Joshua is taking into the consideration all of those things that Elise has been doing. And because, when you are a single parent, I feel as though it's most responsible to wait until the relationship is actually serious, and you know that relationship is going to be around for a while. I don't think you want to jump into just allowing your child to meet just any old person that you're just happen to be dating. I think you need to be actually in the relationship phase, maybe even close to engagement, possibly even waiting until I don't think you want to wait until you're engaged, but you want to wait until you know that the relationship is going to last. Auntie Robbins also says down in the comments, Elise is unstable, very much so. Find little about her to be charming. Yeah, she's not charming in the least. And I can't stand when people play with food. Yeah, she was definitely playing with that salad dressing that got blown up in her face all of a sudden. It was a good laugh for both Elise and Joshua, but yeah, that was. Auntie Robin also says, if I was Joshua, I would keep Elise away from my child. Agreed. Far, far away. Exactly. Exactly. Lady Virgo says to Auntie Robin, agreed. And then Auntie Robin says down in the comments, Elise hasn't demonstrated anything beyond a pretty sex slave. Wow. Wow, those are big words, Auntie Robin, but that's pretty much what she is at this point. So Dustin, were you surprised that Joshua forgave Elise so quickly? And
Yeah.
do you think that Joshua is going to introduce Elise to his son before she makes it back to America? Because I don't think it.
No, I don't. I don't think it's gonna happen. I don't think it's gonna happen. I'm surprised he's even still with her after that. Uh, I don't. I didn't expect him to be for so continuing for that after that, especially in a public place like that. I didn't expect him to forgive her like that soon. You know what I mean? I thought it was gonna take a while to get back to where you're at, but it's apparently he wants to move on. He can move on so fast as he wants to. But that's just my opinion. It's too quick, in my opinion, Jonathan. Too quick for that.
Same with me. Once again, as I said before, I think you need to wait a good while before you introduce your child to your significant other because you want it to be solid. You want to at least have it in your mind that you're going to be with this person forever. At least that's my opinion. But we'll
Right.
see if he does. I have a feeling he will introduce his son to Elise, maybe by FaceTime, but I don't think it's a good idea. At least not at this point, because I would not expect for Elise and Joshua to stay together. Let's
I don't
move
know.
on with Laura and Beer Khan. So Beer Khan is weaning off this conversation that he just had with Michael letting Beer Khan know that Laura made a move on him, tried to kiss him while they were drunk. He pushed her off and, all that good stuff. And Beer Khan sits down with Laura by the shore and he tells her that he can't trust her, that, why didn't she tell him? And this happened before she met Beer Khan. However, Michael is still currently in her life as her best friend. And if you have a friend in your life that possibly you might have had some canoodling going on, be sure to tell be sure to tell your significant other that information so that they don't have any type of jealousy, because I don't know why Laura, as mature as Laura is, and I'm not talking about her age, I'm talking about her decision making, as mature as Laura has been this entire season, why she would not tell Beer Khan that they had kissed and why she did not think that Beer Khan would find out about it. And then she gets up, Beer Khan said that he has no issues with Michael, that Michael's a good guy. But he Beer Khan then tells Laura that he wishes that he never met her.
Yeah,
And then he
it's
also
a red
tells
flag. It's a red
then he
flag.
also tell I mean, but he had every right to tell her that because you didn't tell me that you wanted a romantic situation with this best friend of yours. So,
Yeah,
I get why Beer Khan said that. It's not the nicest thing to say to your significant other, but Beer Khan is so upset in this moment. I don't blame him at all for saying that.
I don't either.
Um,
I don't either. I don't
uh,
think my issues with her. Don't I don't I don't I don't think she went into this the way that she should have. I don't think she was very honest with him. He's been
yeah.
honest. He's been honest the way he feels from day one, but she hasn't been.
Yeah. Auntie
Mm.
Robin says down in the comments, am I the only one who is reminded of a soap opera character when I watch Beer Con? He is quite dramatic for sure. And I love the way he speaks English. Like, it's not the most perfect English in the world, but I love the way that he forms his sentences. It's just so charming to me. But, anyways, she also says, classic, hard to get. Don't talk to me, blah, blah, blah. Yeah, he's very dramatic for a man. So he then also tells Laura to shut up when she interrupts him while he's trying to talk. Laura does not take well to that at all. And she tells him, don't ever tell me to shut up. Auntie Robin also says down in the comments, not for nothing. If you can say that you are that you are sorry that you ever met me, then I can be gone with the wind. Absolutely.
Right.
Some things can never be forgotten. I hold a grudge forever. Absolutely, Auntie Robin. And Laura did get up and leave after he told her he wished he never met her, and she felt like, what's the point of me continuing this conversation with you? So
Mhm.
I get why Laura got up and left. And then Laura met up with Michael at his hotel room, and she's upset with Michael for telling Beer Khan that she had made a move on him. And she doesn't stay upset for too long, but she tells Michael everything that Beer Khan did. And Michael's response is, "Well, Beer Khan is." Upset with you, but that means he says that he thinks that means that he's still in love with her. So Laura goes to call Beer Khan later that day, and she says, "We need to talk." Beer Khan says, Not today. I need some time." This wasn't the same day where they had that altercation, not altercation, but they had that conversation. And Laura wants to go back to the room that they were staying in, but Beer Khan says no, he needs space from her. And Laura says, "Well, I guess I'll go get a hotel." And then Beer Khan proceeds to tell her bye. So,
Right.
me personally, I do want Beer Khan to leave Laura. However, I feel like Beer Khan is in the same situation as Daniel as to where he wants to get over to America by any means necessary. And I have a feeling that he's going to stay with Laura just to be able to get over to America. I would not want him to do that. I would want him to be with another woman, a woman who would appreciate him, a woman who wouldn't put him through this rigmarole. Has Beer Khan kept things from Laura? Sure. Yes, yes,
Yes.
yes, he has. So they've both done the same thing to one another. So to me, they're both in the same boat. They're not in the same boat. No, I won't say that, because to me, this whole situation with Michael is
Different.
a little
Hmm.
bit worse than what Beer Khan has been hiding from her. Because Beer Khan hasn't been asking Laura for money. And that's the big difference between Beer Khan and Laura and a lot of these other couples where a lot of money is being exchanged. Lisa and Daniel, Annalyn and Jovan, a lot of money is being exchanged through those couples. But Beer Khan hasn't asked Laura for a dime. So to me, the fact that Laura has kept from Beer Khan that she was at one time romantically interested in Michael, but they're still good friends, you have to tell your significant other that information. Like, that conversation has to be had. Auntie Robin also
Yep.
says down in the comments, this is perfect time for Laura to get with Michael. Exactly. He can console her. Absolutely. And then Laura says in the confessional, you came all the way out here to Turkey, and makes me think like you're interested in me romantically as well. So if you think that Michael is interested in you romantically, why would you invite him to, well, why would you allow him to come over to Turkey to meet your significant other? Like Laura, I don't like Laura whatsoever. Dustin, what are your thoughts on Laura and Beer Khan before we move on? Because I'm done with her.
I don't like Laura, and I'll put it at that. I don't have nothing else to say. I don't like Laura, and I don't feel bad for Bear Con. I feel bad for the whole situation. I think he's been. I don't think that he's. I think he deserves better. Most definitely. I don't think he's been treated well from her from day one, from episode one, or whatever. I can't remember what season this is. I just know the seventh. I just know it's episode 17. So like I don't. I just see a lot. I just see a lot of red flags this whole entire season.
Absolutely, yeah. I don't appreciate the way that I don't appreciate the way that Beercon has been treated by Laura all season. I really
Okay.
don't at all. Alrighty, and so Auntie Robin says, "Welcome, Tina Nader." Oh, so we got a new commenter here. Okay, all right. Auntie Robin also
Welcome back,
says,
everybody.
and Laura loved it. I told you she likes what looks like them fighting over her. Exactly. That's what she loves to see. And then the Tina Nader says, "Thank you, Auntie Robin. Thank you for being here, Tina Nader. Thank you so much for
Welcome
joining
in,
us."
everybody. Sorry I have a cold, so sorry if I sound a little bit different today.
Yeah, yeah, but you're getting through it, Dustin. You are getting through it. Tina Nader also says, "I don't like Laura either." Yeah, I don't like her at all. I
Yeah,
don't like her at all. Then the Tina Nader also says she wants her romance novel. She definitely does, and she says that to Auntie Robin. She definitely does a romance novel type relationship for sure, for
right.
sure. And then Auntie Robin says down in the comments, perfect analogy, Tina Nader, for sure, for sure. She wants a perfect relationship, and I don't know if she's going to find it in BeerCon, but we'll see. But let's move on to our final couple, Rick and Trisha. So
Oh, God.
Rick finally gives in to Trisha's family's request for him to give Trisha a child, and it's he says yes after a lot of prodding, a lot of asking. And here's my thing: if you're looking for a yes or no answer from someone, and they are teetering and tottering, they're not giving you a definitive yes or no. A lot of times that means
So,
they're
no.
leaning to no. Exactly, Justin. And so I don't know. Maybe it's different in Madagascar. Maybe they don't pick up on those type of context clues, but if someone is having a hard time giving you a yes or no answer, chances are they're leaning towards a no. So you gotta wisen up on that. So Trisha and Rick. But before we move on, Auntie Robin says Rick did not give in. In my opinion, he blatantly lied. Yes, he did lie. On the surface, he gave in, but I don't think that he's actually going to give Trisha a child. Like I definitely don't think that he
I don't
means
think it's going to happen.
that yes at all whatsoever. And Tina Nader says bye. I'm sure she's saying that about Rick's answer. Yeah, Rick doesn't want kids at all. And if you have to be bullied into giving an answer to someone, then you obviously don't want to do it. Auntie Robin also says, "I agree with you, Joe Nathan. I yelled at the at the TV when he relented. Liar. Yes, he is a liar. We all know damn well Rick don't want another baby. And but the thing is, Trisha was so happy after he said yes. She was so elated. She was so happy. And I think it further lets us know how much this means to Trisha, how much she does want a child. It's not just her family who's pressuring her into wanting a child. No, she wants a child. Auntie
Hmm.
Robin also says again, he don't want no kids, or yeah, no mo kids, as she says. Yeah, Rick don't want no more kids at all.
Uh-uh.
Tina Nader says he is so gross. Yeah, Rick is not the best guy. I don't know if you've seen it in my reviews in the past, Tina Nader, but I have a feeling Rick might be a part of the LGBTQIA plus community.
Oh,
At the
I can
least
definitely
he is
tell.
at least he is bisexual because he has 5 kids. He's been married. He obviously is attracted to women, but Rick's decision making during this season has been piss poor, and I wish he would consider his partner's feelings a little bit more when he's, doing what it is that that he's doing. Auntie Robin
Mhm.
says down in the comments, Tina showed both. I'm sorry, Trisha showed both her desire and her age when she was so grateful, when she was so gleeful. Yes, she did look like a teenager who just got a big Christmas present for Christmas. The Teenanator says he is the worst. Okay, all right. We know how you feel, Teenanator. Me personally, I don't dislike Rick. I just hate the way that he's been doing Trisha this entire season. Because she's holding on by a thread. And it's sad because he's treating her like her age. He's treating her like a little girl, like a teenage little girl that doesn't know any better. And sometimes that's the advantage of an older person being with a younger person. Tina Nader also says he's what we used to call a dirty old man. Ooh, back when I was her age. Yeah, that's what it's giving off. But they're making it back to the place where they had been staying because they had to travel to get to where Trisha's actually grew up. And
Mhm.
so while they are waiting, they have their flight was canceled. Their flight kept getting canceled, and so Trisha keeps asking Rick if he loves her, and she asked for his phone. And before I move on with the story, Auntie Robin also says, and what about the ending of their segment? Rick is trying to be a player. I think that's the narrative that he's pushing, Auntie Robin, because Trisha ends up reading a text message that Rick has been texting his ex girlfriend who lives in Colombia, his ex girlfriend that lives in Colombia. And he said that the time that he spent with his ex girlfriend has been some of the happiest times in his life. And he texted this while he was with Trisha's family. Now, me personally, I feel as though this ex girlfriend that Rick is referring to, um, I have a feeling she may not exist. I have a feeling that he's bringing this ex girlfriend character into his storyline so that he has a juicier storyline. I personally don't believe that this ex exists. I don't know, but if this is the truth, this shows me that as you said, Tina Nader, this is a no good man. He does not. Trisha deserves better. Trisha deserves to be treated with respect. And
Yes.
Rick clearly does not care about her feelings whatsoever. Whatsoever. Auntie Robin says, yes, Tina Nader, she's 25 and he's 52. And then Auntie Robin says down in the comments, Joe Nathan, why do you have me thinking that the ex is a dude? Okay. Okay, I'd never even considered that, Auntie Robin, but you might be right. If this X does exist, it just might be another man. You might have hit the nail on the head with that one, Auntie Robin. So,
Mhm.
Dustin, what was your reaction to Rick telling Trisha's family yes to a baby? And what is your reaction to these text messages that Trisha ended up reading while they were waiting for their flight?
I don't think something is gonna happen. To be honest with you,
Me either.
I think he lied. I don't like to say the word, but I'll just say it for the video purposes. I think he lied to her family. I think he did.
For sure.
I think he lied to him. I don't see it's gonna happen. I don't see it happening at all.
Me either.
I just think he said. I think he said it for the family to be at peace and for the family to think it's going to happen, but it's never going to happen, people.
Right.
Never going to happen. Mm-mm.
Yeah, I don't think it's going to happen either. And what was your reaction to Trisha reading the text messages Rick was sending to his ex while he was with her family?
Why would you send? Why would you send? Why would you still be sending text messages to your ex when you're with somebody else?
Yeah, it's
That that
terrible.
that is terrible, 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 terrible. Yes, you can still have a real. You can still have a. You can still be in touch with them, but you can't be in touch with them the way you were before when you were with somebody. And that is terrible in my book, Jonathan. That is not acceptable at all. I'm sorry, but that's not acceptable in my book, and it shouldn't be acceptable in anybody else's book either. But that's
Right.
just not. Mhm.
The Teenanator says, I'm sorry, I'm calling you the Teenanator, Teenanator. Can I just call you Tina? Just let me know. Tina Nader also says, I can't imagine dating anyone the age of my nieces and nephews, Auntie Robin. I'm 52. Yeah, like to me, I typically don't like seeing those types of relationships on these shows because it just
Mm-mm.
gives me the ick. Like Lisa and Daniel and Laura and Beer Khan. It's like, the age difference is problematic, at least for me. Not
I
to
don't know
say that
about you.
those.
I don't know about you, Jonathan, but I'm more excited for the regular 90 Day Fiance season to premiere and the new show to premiere in May than I am in this tell all. I'm ready for this season to be over with. Hmm.
Well, we have gone through 17 episodes, so it has been a long journey. So I'm not surprised
Yes,
that you're ready for the new season. Tina Nader
yes,
also says, "It's okay. Yes, that's my first name, Tina." All right, thank you so much for that permission, Tina. I really
mhm.
appreciate it. But yeah, Rick has been treating Trisha like trash this entire season, and uh, Trisha is so naive and so young. I have a feeling like she's not used to being in a relationship. I mean, she's only 24, and
Mhm.
so she's not used to this type of stuff. Tina says, "Let like pray vibes." Oh yes,
Alright.
but there have been some successful couples, but these people aren't mature. Yes,
Mm,
I agree with that, Tina, for sure. Auntie Robin says, "Me either, Tina Nader. Usually the young ones approach me. Oh, okay. I was happily surprised recently to get the attention of someone my age 621. Someone my age, 62. Okay. Gotcha. Yeah. Rick has not been a good guy this season. As much
no,
as
he
I love his
hasn't.
personality, I love his smile, I love his facial expressions. I do enjoy Rick on the show, but he has treated Trisha like trash this entire season. And the only flaw that Trisha has had this entire season is the fact that she's been in communication with her ex, but she said that she has left him behind. So we'll see what happens on the season finale. I believe the next episode will be the season finale. That's what it looks like. And so we'll see what happens on the next one. So Dustin, before we get out of here, why don't you share with the good people your social media contacts real quick?
My social media contacts are Dustin Butler. My Facebook is Dustin Butler. My Instagram is Dustin Butler 700. And I will have I will have a different, I will have a different setup next week. A new computer coming, so I'll be back on my computer next week. So
All
I'll
right.
be, yes, I will have a different setup next week. Hmm.
Cool beans, cool beans. Tina says, "Get it, girl. Take them compliments. Absolutely."
Yeah.
And then Auntie Robin has our last comment down here. Auntie Robin also says, "Let me get it here." Auntie Robin also says, "I think the next episode is the tell-all." Well, we when we saw the preview for the next episode, it actually wasn't the tell-all because we
No,
saw
it's not.
Sig and Aviva again. We saw Annalyn and Jovan about to, I
To
guess,
leave
a vow renewal of some sort. So yeah, the
hmm
tell-all's not next week, Auntie Robin. I think next week is the
the
season
finale.
finale. But you guys can follow me on Instagram. My Instagram is Jojo_speaks3020. My Facebook is Jonathan Lee. My email is williamjonathanlee@gmail.com. My Cash App is $ Jonathan Lee 07. That's $JONATHANLEE 07. Be sure to join me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. for my live Hot Topics and Social Commentary show. I go live every Thursday night at 8 p.m. with my sister Prophetic Fire Reiki, as well as our friend Bianca Edwards. We always have a great time talking about the latest hot topics and happenings going on in the world. So join
Mm.
me every Thursday night at 8 p.m. Tina says down here in the comments, "Thank you for letting me engage with your channel. I'm definitely be back." Thank you so much for joining us, Tina. I love to see a new person in the comments. My
Mm.
favorite part of doing videos is engaging with you guys in the comments. So this is my favorite part. So please be sure to join us again. Please be sure to join us again. Auntie Robin says down here in the comments, um, I'm um, I'm pushing it. I want to get to the tell-all. Yeah, this has been a pretty long season, Auntie Robin. So you are not the only one who wants to get to the tell-all because for all I care, this last episode can be 30 minutes and it'd be done. But yeah, I think that's all we got for this review. So thank y'all so much for
Mhm.
joining us. Once again, thank you, Tina, for joining us. It was a pleasure having you with us. Thank you, Auntie Robin, and thank you, Lady Virgo, for being in the comments as well. I'll
Yeah.
catch you guys on Thursday night. And once again, be on the lookout for my I was about to say Married to Medicine, for my Housewives of Atlanta review, as well as my RuPaul's Drag Race review later this week. Love you guys for watching. I'll see you on the next one. And hopefully I'll see you on Thursday live at 8 p.m. as well. Love you guys. Bye, y'all.
Yeah.